For a while, people were using phones as their third hand. Before all cell phones, people never had this mutated finger. They had landlines, unable to talk and walk. Phone companies wanted people to be able to walk and talk freely, without hassle, so they invented the cell phone for us to carry. Motorola produced the first commercial handheld cell phone in 1983, the Motorola Dyna THC 8000. After Motorola's release of the first handheld cell phone, many companies joined the bandwagon and formed, making new innovative cellular technology that we all know and love, making mobility and socializing work together. But has our love for the cell phone gone too far? Some high schools would say we have. They even have made a rule for students not to use their cell phone at school. To help us understand why we're so attracted to the cell phone, we interviewed Mr. Carmody. How do you feel about the cell phone? Do you think it's a distraction or can it be helpful?
I think they're a distraction. I think it can be helpful, but I personally hate them. I hate cell phones. I hate having them. Like, just to be perfectly honest, if we could go back in time and not make them as socially relevant as they are, I would go there and I would stay there.
What do you think attracts people to the cell phone?
What attracts people to the cell phone? Because you have to have one now, socially. Right? I remember my freshman year of college when they were just becoming normal. Everybody had them, and I remember going out and I was supposed to meet like a friend at this restaurant, and they changed their plans. And I was just waiting, didn't show up, and then I remember I got home that night and I finally got in touch with them. And what should have been their fault for not letting me know in advance turned into my fault. Oh, you should have had a cell phone, man. You should have had a cell phone. On top of that, people have to have the latest gadget. So if somebody's friend is getting or going to get, you know, the latest cell phone, oh, that person now has to have it. It's a business. They're making so much money off of kids. It's unbelievable.
How do you feel about the school's cell phone policy?
I think it should be stricter. I think there should be a law, not just high school county policy, a law nationwide that bans them from school campuses to where there's a legal, you know, consequence for having your cell phone. I think they're a big distraction. I think kids can start fights with them. They can sell drugs with them. And in general, I mean, kids are wired so differently now with those cell phones and this need to have them. Their priority isn't what we're teaching up here. It's in their pocket.
Are kids today really addicted to the cell phone? Racing to read a text in threat of getting their cell phone taken away due to the no cell phone policy?
For the school policy, it wouldn't really matter because kids still end up using their phone during class.
After hearing this, we got curious as to know if this was really true. We interviewed 8 people asking if they use their cell phones during class. 2 said yes. 4 said no. 2 said sometimes. We discovered that this was only half true. But the 50% of students that use their cell phones, they are most likely to get taken away due to the no cell phone policy and taken to Mrs. Blossom.
I'm Mrs. Blossom.
What do you think was the number of cell phones you took during the week?
During a week, I think an average in a week was probably 25 to 30 a week.
Okay.
Last year, at the end of the year, when I did the calculation, it was close to 1,500.
What is the usual student reaction?
Most of the time, they're respectful. A lot of the times they get very upset and don't understand, which is confusing to me because they know the policy, and but they still try and get by it, and they think that, well, it doesn't apply to me, so I'm going to do what I want. And then they get mad when we keep it for 24 hours and make the parent come in and pick it up.
Okay, would you change it anyway?
I don't think I would change it. I think as the year goes on, it should become stricter. It's like speeding down the road, and you get stopped and get a traffic ticket. You get mad at the cop because you got stopped, not because you weren't doing what you were supposed to do, but because you got stopped and got a ticket. So if you're going to take the risk to get your cell phone out and use it, then don't be upset at the administrator or the secretary that's in charge of getting your phone.
What about the students? They make a bigger demographic than the teachers. They should get a say on the cell phone policy.
What's your opinion on the cell phone policy?
It's a little ridiculous that we can't use it in between classes because the whole point of not using cell phone in the classroom is because it's a distraction to our education, and in between classes we're not learning anything. So it's best to just get it out in the few minutes in between class. It seems reasonable.
So what's your opinion on the cell phone policy?
I think the cell phone policy is pretty decent because the only reason I think that they don't want them out is so they don't get stolen.
This truly has taught us that people are addicted to their cell phones, and that the cell phone policy is only an object in our way of communication in life. Very first being for people to communicate for emergencies, to people sending a text because they're bored. Connection has overpowered us, and without it, it's a difficult life. Our love for the cell phone, in fact, is stronger than we all think. We learn that the cell phone is addicting, and every time a new phone comes out, we must have it. Our school only tries to keep the learning environment clean and textless, and that there always will be a cell phone, it will never go away.